Desmond was a very rich man. He had everything: big houses, fancy cars, and more money than he could spend. But he was not happy. He wanted someone to love him for who he was, not for his money. Every woman he met only cared about his wealth. One night, Desmond sat alone in his mansion and made a big decision: he would pretend to be a poor taxi driver. This way, he could find a woman who loved him truly. The next day, he bought an old taxi. It was noisy and slow. He dressed in simple clothes and started driving. Many people entered his taxi. Some were kind, some were rude, but no one cared about him as a person. Then he met a woman named Amina. She was beautiful and friendly at first, but soon she started asking for money. First, small amounts, then more and more. Desmond gave her the money to test her. As expected, she didn't love him. She only wanted what he had. Desmond felt sad. He began to wonder, was real love even possible? One evening, a young woman waved for a taxi. Her name was Blessing. She looked tired but peaceful. She spoke kindly and asked Desmond about his day. She didn't talk about money at all. When they reached her stop, she paid her fare and left quietly. Desmond couldn't stop thinking about her. A few days later, he saw her again. He offered her a ride. She smiled and accepted. This time, they talked more. Blessing told him about her simple life, how she worked hard to support her family. She didn't have much, but she was happy. Desmond admired her. She was humble, kind, and didn't care about money. He felt hope. Over the next few weeks, he picked her up often. They laughed, talked, and became close. Desmond wanted to know if she would still care about him if she thought he was poor. So, he told her, being a taxi driver is hard. I don't earn much. Blessing just smiled and said, money is not everything. Kindness and honesty are what matter. Desmond's heart filled with joy. He knew he had found someone special. Finally, he told Blessing the truth: he was not really a taxi driver. He was a billionaire looking for true love. Blessing was surprised but smiled. She said, I love the man, not the money. Their love grew stronger. Desmond introduced Blessing to his rich parents, but his parents didn't accept her. They said she was not from their world, not rich enough. Desmond defended her. He told them she was kind and loving. But his parents said love is not enough. Marriage is about status. Desmond stood up to them and left with Blessing. He gave up his money, his mansion, and his family's company. He moved in with Blessing in her small house. He found small jobs and lived simply. He was happy because he had love. But Blessing was worried. She saw Desmond struggling. He had once been rich, and now he was fixing cars for a small wage. She loved him, but the burden was heavy. She told Desmond, please go back to your family. You don't belong in this hard life. You deserve better. Desmond resisted at first, but Blessing kept asking. So, with a heavy heart, Desmond returned to his parents. His father said, you can return, but only if you marry Evelyn, my business partner's daughter. Evelyn was rich, proud, and spoiled. Desmond didn't love her, but he agreed to marry her to please his father and help the family business. When he told Blessing, her heart broke. She had asked him to return, but not like this. Still, she understood and let him go. Desmond married Evelyn in a big, fancy wedding. But he was not happy. Evelyn loved luxury. She refused to cook, clean, or help with anything. She only partied and spent money. Desmond felt like a prisoner in a golden cage. Meanwhile, Blessing discovered she was Pregnant with twins. After Desmond married Evelyn, he felt empty. Evelyn had everything: beauty, clothes, money, but no kindness. She didn't help around the house. She didn't even try to know Desmond better. They lived like strangers. Desmond missed Blessing every day. Meanwhile, Blessing found out she was pregnant with twins. She was shocked. She didn't know earlier because her monthly flow hadn't stopped. The babies were Desmond's, but she didn't want to disturb his new life. She didn't want to break his marriage. Blessing kept it a secret. She struggled to live alone in a small, broken apartment. She had no money, no help, but she had faith. She believed God would take care of her and her babies. One day, Desmond's mother went to the market. There, she saw Blessing. She was shocked. Blessing was pregnant. Her clothes were worn. Her face looked tired. She looked like she had suffered a lot. Desmond's mother felt deep shame and guilt. She went to Blessing and apologized. Then Blessing told her the truth: the twins were Desmond's children. Desmond's mother was filled with joy. She had always dreamed of being a grandmother. Now, not just one, but two grandchildren. "We're coming." She didn't waste time. She told Blessing, "Pack your things. You're coming with me." Desmond's mother took Blessing to one of her mansions. She gave her everything: a safe home, a maid to help her, a driver, and care. She visited Blessing every week, bringing food and gifts, checking on her health. She didn't tell Desmond or her husband. She wanted it to be a surprise when the babies were born. Weeks passed. Desmond noticed that his mother had changed. She was no longer stressed. She was happy and calm. She often went out alone and came back smiling. Desmond became curious, but she told him everything is fine. Then the day came. Blessing gave birth to beautiful twins, a baby boy and girl. Desmond's mother was so happy. She called Desmond and said, "Come with me. I want to visit a friend in the hospital." Desmond agreed. When they reached the hospital, he walked into it, a room, and froze. There was Blessing holding two tiny babies. Desmond's eyes filled with tears. His heart raced. His mother said softly, "Desmond." Desmond was speechless. He slowly walked to Blessing. She looked at him and smiled gently. Desmond knelt beside her, tears falling. I'm so sorry," he whispered, "for everything." Blessing held his hand and said, "You don't need to say sorry. I understand." Desmond promised to make things right. He kissed his babies and promised to be a good father. He couldn't wait to tell his father. So he took him to the mansion where Blessing now lived. When his father walked in and saw the twins, he was shocked. Desmond said, "Daddy, these are your grandchildren." His father stared at the babies, then slowly smiled. Tears filled his eyes. He touched their small hands and whispered, "Was wrong." He turned to Blessing. "Please forgive me. I didn't know what I had done." Blessing forgave him. From that moment, everything changed. But not for Evelyn. She noticed that Desmond and his parents were acting differently. They left the house often, together. No one told her where they were going. She became suspicious. One day, she asked the security guard. After much pressure, he told her everything. Evelyn was furious. She called her father and told him that Desmond had a secret family twins with another woman. Her father became angry and called Desmond's father. He shouted on the phone, "You've insulted my daughter. The business deal is over." But Desmond's father stayed calm. "We don't need your business anymore," he said. Desmond is done with Evelyn. Evelyn was shocked. She thought her father's power would protect her. But now she was being thrown out. Desmond's father called her into the living room. "You have no place in this house anymore. You brought shame and lies. Leave." Evelyn packed her bags and left the mansion. She returned to her father's house, broken and alone. She had lost her husband, her pride, and her power. Back at Desmond's home, peace returned. Desmond, Blessing, and the twins became a happy family. His parents now supported them with love. The mansion was filled with laughter, not sadness. Desmond had lost everything once, but now he had found something better: true love, family, and a second chance. Like the video, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe. For more stories, hit subscribe and turn on the bell only on Sanka Fatals.